Pikmin has become one of those Nintendo IPs that makes at least one appearance on each home console. We got 2 on the GameCube, the second one got a Wii version, a third game was made for the Wii U before it got ported to the Switch, and now here we are at last with the 4th game made for a system that many would argue is up for a next-gen replacement now. This is Pikmin 4 for the Nintendo Switch. Once again, the rather unlucky Captain Olimar has crash-landed on an alien planet, but instead of playing as the main hero of the series, you play as a member of a rescue team charged with going to this world to save him. But with your rescue ship malfunctioning upon re-entry and your teammates scattered to the wind, you've also got to recover energy for your ship and find all your teammates while still searching for Olimar. While crash landing on an alien planet does have a been there, done that feel, playing as a new character is a good way to tell the story from a new angle. It also helps you feel more immersed in the plot since you can customize the look of your character at the beginning of the game, at least within the options they give you, so forget about making a character who doesn't look like they fell out of an anime. But on the subject of visuals, Pikmin 4 handles visual presentation very well. Now, this is the second Pikmin game to be natively made for an HD console, but I say this is the best looking Pikmin game of the 4. While some surface textures look muddy up close, everything else shines with that HD polish, cheerful color, and great animation, all complemented by a charming art style and a smooth frame rate. The load times can feel a little long, but not too bad considering everything this game is rendering in these levels. It's heavily implied that this planet is Earth with all the man-made objects scattered or carefully placed in the levels, and there's just something fascinating about running through some person's backyard as a tiny character with even tinier helpers. Where a simple park bench looks as big as the Roman Colosseum. It's that spectacular perspective on the mundane similar to watching Toy Story or A Bug's Life. The audio feels similar to past Pikmin games. The music is still that cartoony beat with equally cartoony sound effects done in a way only Nintendo could pull off. The sounds of the Pikmin themselves and your rescue dog Ochi add a particular cutesy, lighthearted layer to an already lighthearted game. As for the Hokotatian characters, I recently learned that's the name of Olimar's species, their dialogue is short sounds in an alien language along with subtitles. Since Nintendo has decided these guys have their own language, I don't think Pikmin will ever get full voice acting, but even this much adds more dimension to the game's presentation. And yes, I'm aware that this type of voice acting is also in Pikmin 2 and 3, which I'll eventually get around to reviewing, somewhere in my long list of games to review. Pikmin 4 continues the same base mechanics of the original. As your character, you command a team of Pikmin to perform tasks with the end goal of bringing supplies back to your ship. Except this time, instead of looking for specific supplies, you're collecting shiny giant objects to gain enough fuel for the ship to travel to other places on the planet as part of your rescue effort. But this sequel adds much more to Pikmin than this. While the original red, yellow, and blue Pikmin from the first game are back, this 4th game also includes different Pikmin types introduced in the second and third games. Mainly the white Pikmin from Pikmin 2 and the rock Pikmin from Pikmin 3. But new to this 4th game are the ice Pikmin and glow Pikmin. With each advantage and disadvantage of the different types, using each type becomes a key factor in strategy. Using ice Pikmin to freeze an obstacle or enemy then hit him hard with rock Pikmin, or using blue Pikmin to carry objects across a lake, or red Pikmin to put out fires, just to name some examples. It's an entertaining aspect that I'm happy to see this 4th game expand upon. But what could glow-in-the-dark Pikmin be useful for in a game that tells you being outside at night is so dangerous that left-behind Pikmin just die without a fight? This is how the game breaks out of the series' comfort zone and introduces us to nighttime exploration. It's honestly refreshing to see the game push its own envelope, while at the same time it doesn't break its own rules. The enemy creatures actually do get way more aggressive at night, but instead of having to fight them off to explore like you normally do, nighttime exploration is more a series of defend the fort type missions. While exploring at night would be kind of cool for aesthetics and extra challenge, this is still a cool design that they went with, and it helps keep things fresh in this game as you go from getting a gate open or moving a pumpkin to fighting a giant worm or fending off invasive bulborbs. What's cool is that you also keep some of the glow Pikmin you use to then add them to your team in regular levels. Well, not quite the regular levels, only in these underground sub-levels can you use glow Pikmin. These sub-levels actually have some good challenge to them with the combat and puzzle solving, and I liked how they continued the theme of being on Earth, even if some sub-levels are more upfront about this than others. The tight spaces, aggressive enemies, and even the annoying obstacles were clearly put in here to put the skills of Pikmin veterans to the test, but at the same time they're designed in a way that's welcoming to newcomers. One way being that you can bring different items with you from your base of operations to give your Pikmin and your dog some kind of boost like health or energy. Also because time moves slower underground for some reason.
I don't know.
You can more or less take your time clearing out every sub-level without having to suddenly gather your lost Pikmin when you resurface. In fact, other areas of this game are more lax on time now. Most of the gameplay for the regular levels does still work via day to night concept. In fact, a couple of them have environmental changes when the day reaches the afternoon. But now gone is that pesky 30-day time limit. Personally, I love that they got rid of this because it relieves a lot of pressure from the player to feel like they have to get more things right in 30 days or end up with a bad ending, which means having to play the game all over again from the beginning to get the good ending. I know some people like that addition to the difficulty, but I feel like more people will appreciate how this allows more room to just have fun with the game and not feel frustrated because of time. I mean, you can even rewind your day if you make a big mistake that gets several of your Pikmin killed at once. It's not quite the same as rewinding on Nintendo Switch Online's SNES games, but if it went that far, it might feel less like in-game forgiveness and more like the game holding your hand. This design feels like it's more forgiving of your mistakes and gives you time to make a few new and hopefully better choices. Other mechanics were solid in this game as well. The controls are good, the camera is easy to use and moves well. The level designs overall are very well made for the kind of challenge you would expect for one of these games, even with the helpful items. Your dog Ochi is also a great addition to your team. Not only can he attack enemies, help destroy barriers, and help carry objects to base, but he can also have your character and all your Pikmin ride on his back. I like that this is a convenient way to get around faster, and a way to swim across rivers with Pikmin other than the ones who can actually swim. It's the game saying, here's your obstacle, here are great tools to use, what's your solution?
I know what we need to do, and I know how to get it done.
Ever since the second game, modes for 2 players in Pikmin have become standard practice. Here it's a good news, bad news situation. The bad news is that co-op is nothing more than the second player controlling a crosshair and shooting at stuff, while player 1 does all the rest of the work. Not unlike Super Mario Galaxy 2. The good news is that the competitive multiplayer mode is way better. It's called Dandori Battles. Each player controls their own army of Pikmin, and the goal is to see who can collect the most points worth of stuff before time runs out. But it's not just enemies from the story mode that you have to worry about here. Players can find and use items against each other, and even steal treasures mid-transit. Thankfully you can play against a bot if you don't have a second player at that moment, but when you do, this is the kind of multiplayer that can get really competitive, especially if neither one of you is above stealing. Despite a few setbacks, Pikmin 4 is taking the IP in the right direction. With the additions and improvements that Pikmin 4 brings to this franchise, it's a great game for Switch owners to pick up even at full price. Well, that's my review of Pikmin 4 for the Nintendo Switch. To help me produce more videos like this, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to my current patrons here. Remember that supporting my Patreon gets your name in the credits and access to my flagship videos a full day early. Also be sure to check out my previous reviews of the original Pikmin for the GameCube and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope for the Switch. See you all next time!
Whoa.